Hi guys, today we will be talking about deadweight loss and taxes. Firstly, to define those things, taxes are when a government imposes an additional charge on a good or service, and that contributes to the revenue of the government. The deadweight loss is the decrease in total surplus from something that impacts a market. Recall that total surplus is producer surplus plus consumer surplus, and in the case of a tax, it is the tax revenue. Remember that producer surplus is the overall benefit a seller receives from selling, which is the area above the supply curve under the price. Consumer surplus is the overall benefit a consumer gets from buying, and it's the area under the demand curve above the price. Now, after all these definitions, let's get into an example. The example we're going to be talking about is vaping products. And with that, there is a fictional numbered graph displayed right there. Firstly, let's examine the case of when we add a tax to it. So let's say that we impose a tax of $15, and after that, the supply curve is raised by 15, and we can calculate tax revenue off of that, which would be the box to the left. And we can also note that the shift of the supply curve changes the equilibrium, but what we want to know is how do we calculate deadweight loss? Deadweight loss is the black area shown, and it takes away from the area of the producer and consumer surplus as shown. The new total surplus is the area of the pink and blue minus the black area. And it's important to note that even though it may not be obvious from the graph, the demand curve is more elastic, and thus with the new tax, they will lose a larger percent of their consumer surplus. This indicates the more elastic curve will bear more of the burden of the tax, which would be the buyers in this case. Okay, expanding on the elasticities and the deadweight loss, we can look at this example of two elastic curves. There is a much greater deadweight loss than the previous graph of one elastic and one inelastic curve. Thus, it makes sense in order to reduce deadweight loss to tax inelastic goods, because as we've seen that elastic curves equals a greater deadweight loss. Lastly, another way that deadweight loss is impacted is by raising or lowering the tax. And in this example, we have seen that the tax is raised to the green line, and it shows that the deadweight loss increases. But actually, what happens to the deadweight loss is it increases at a faster rate in comparison to the increase of the tax. And this is also true for the inverse. So if the tax was lowered, then the deadweight loss would decrease at a faster rate compared to the tax. So that's everything for us today. Thank you.